What's going on, all you citizens of the nation? Your man Sly here with another April update video. This time we're going to dive into all of the weapon changes that will impact you on April 12th. Now, like I said before, if you missed the stream, check it out right here. I have it unedited in HD. It is full of awesome information. So now, as promised, let's move on to the weapons. Specifically, we're going to start with legendaries. Now, they have balanced entire archetypes of weapons, and mostly for the better. Some of the gameplay they show of the playtesters using these new changes showed some pretty fast killing gameplay in these new setups. So first on the list, let's talk about auto rifles. The super fast high rate of fire and low impact ARs like the Doctrine of Passing and the Arminius D are getting a slight nerf in base damage. Like I said last time, they didn't go into specifics, but the patch notes will be up soon and I will publish those numbers as soon as I see them. Besides that, they mostly focused on higher impact auto rifles like the Suros regime. They have increased the damage of the lower rate of fire, higher impact ARs, and extended the range out just a little, but just enough to make it a little more accurate. Suros itself has its own changes, which I will go over later when I get to exotics. Similarly, the low rate of fire pulse rifles are on the low end of things, and they are seeing a bit of damage boost as well. The pulse rifle nerf was extreme last time, and they're boosting the ones like Messenger and the spare chains just a little bit, increasing the base damage. Handcannons are up next, and not much was done here, guys, except they did boost the amount of reserve ammunition. No mag increases, no damage buffs, nothing like that, just more ammo to reload with. Next, we're going to move on to fusion rifles. Now, these used to be beauties, guys, and deadly in the right hands. Bungie's trying to bring them back from obscurity. They are increasing the stability across the board for all fusions, and with that comes a tighter grouping of the projectiles. More projectiles on target equals more kills, so that is definitely a welcome change. Up next, and it's a big one, let's talk about those sniper rifles. By far the biggest killers in the game, and in Destiny, it is so easy to use snipers at close range that they are attempting to push snipers back out to long-range engagement weapons. They are doing this by taking the 3 low-zoom scopes, ambush, view tac, and sight sis, and pushing their zoom out a pretty noticeable distance. It's not overkill, but you can definitely notice the increase in zoom length. On top of that, ADSing all sniper rifles will now take a little more time. It's only in the term of like 2 additional frames, so no big deal here. It's not going to be that noticeable. The big one is snapshot. Now, they are decreasing snapshot speed by 10%, and that is on top of the additional zoom time it now takes. These changes are being made to push back snipers from no-scoping close opponents and all those quick-scopers who really don't use primaries in the Crucible. Nothing about shotguns, and I think besides a lone few exceptions, they are in a way better state than a year ago. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get over onto these exotics. One I already knew was going to get looked at, and that was the Mida multi-tool. Now, they showed a graph, which you can see right there in the background. Take a look at that usage data since it was introduced into year 2. It is the most used primary in the Crucible, hands down, and that means it's way too easy to kill with. Now, they wanted to keep the feel of the Mida and its lethality, but not the quick time to kill. So what they ended up doing was taking away the high caliber round perk, which put that into the next shot category. What it now takes is 3, maybe 4 shots depending on armor type to completely kill another Guardian. Again, not that big of a change considering how fast the Mida fires. So the next big exotic we're going to talk about is the Suros regime. It is getting the initial auto rifle buff in addition to all the other auto rifles and its own trimmings. However, with this buff, the spinning up perk made it an absolute beast in the playtest, so they had to actually push back the spinning up perk 4 bullets to tame the lethality. Now with this change and the new damage buff, using the focused fire perk becomes much more appealing, and depending on how you set up the Suros, you can now completely max out the range, making it by far the most accurate and far-reaching auto rifle in the game. Y'all, the Suros is about to make a huge comeback. So the next category is once again about the Handcannons. The big ones here being the last word. Capable of a 2-shot kill while firing from the hip, they are reducing the precision shot bonus you get from firing from the hip. It now puts this weapon back into the 3-shot kill category, but is still the fastest time to kill weapon in Destiny. Hawkmoon's next, and it is seeing a small range increase to make it a little more appealing, and Thorn is seeing some changes as well. The damage over time used to pulse 6 times, dealing damage with each pulse. Now, the damage over time will only pulse 4 times and will deal a little less damage with each pulse. But if you watch the stream, y'all, then you guys know Thorn is still a very deadly weapon to use. Next up, my pal Icebreaker. By the way, I hate Icebreaker. In addition to the sniper rifle changes coming to all the snipers in this category, the stability and handling of Icebreaker has been decreased. They also increased the zoom length. It is also staying behind in year 1. Now, the most noticeable weapon of this entire stream, however, was right now the worst exotic in the game, the Dregs Promise. Its tracking has been increased significantly, and just like rocket launchers, you have to aim for it to track, but it tracks very, very fast. Also, with the sidearm buff that happened a few months back with the release of the new sidearm weapon type, it was simply destroying people in the stream. Even the devs seem to acknowledge that it might be sent back to the drawing board here very soon. It might just be a little too OP. Now, a couple of small things that are worth notice. The 1,000-yard stare is the most equipped weapon in the Crucible. I think we all knew that. And it's taking away some of its ammo to combat that and letting other options open up. They're also taking away some ammo from the Quillam's Terminus heavy machine gun to try to stop people from going on like 20 kill streaks. But that's about wraps up all the changes coming to Destiny weapons here on April 12th, guys. I went over all of the gameplay, subclasses, and the smaller issues in my previous video, which you can find right here. It's worth a watch, especially if you're a Crucible player and a veteran Warlock. But I'm out, Nation. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching and sticking with this smaller YouTuber, y'all. It means the world to me. But if you want to stay up to date and in touch with Sly Nation, Twitter is the best place to do that, guys. Follow that bastard at Sly Nation and be alerted to new vids and upcoming information about our favorite games. Well, I'm out of y'all. Take it easy. I'll see you all in the next one, and I cannot wait for April 12th. It's going to be one busy day, to say the least. See you, Guardians. This is your boy Sly. Done, gone, out.
Ammo inbound. Zone B secure.